Hi there, welcome back. I am Adrienne Flynn with Thousandfold Lotus. We are just cruising along this video foundations course, and today we are on to video number 5. So video 5 topic today is our neck. So we want to put our neck in the best and safest possible place when we're doing our exercises as possible. The first thing to remember is that our neck is an extension of the spine. It is the spine. So our back goes up and then it continues until our skull just inserts right on top of those top vertebrae. So whatever our back is doing, our neck is just kind of going to go with. So if you think about it that way, all of these little points kind of make sense here. Basically, when we put our neck into the right place, it's going to apply when we're doing flexion or extension of the spine. Flexion is when we're rounded, kind of like a scared cat, and then extension is when we arch our back backwards. So this may be when we're standing, maybe we're laying on our stomach and lifting into extension, maybe we're laying on our back and coming into flexion. Okay, so I'm going to just get right to it and show you the best positioning for your neck during different spinal movements. Let's start with flexion. So I'm going to lay on the back because that's typically how we're doing flexion. Once I'm on my back here, flexion in Pilates typically only comes up to the base of that scapula. So our last video was on scapulas. The tip of the scapula is just grazing the floor because at this point my abdominal wall has shortened and there's no need to go that much higher here. We've already kind of shortened everything out. Once we start getting higher, we start putting a little undue pressure into the lumbar spine. So before I get up here, I'm just going to set my head to get ready to come into flexion. So we do what we call just this craniovertebral flexion, where we just tuck the chin a little bit, and then basically I'm just tipping my skull on my neck here and setting it in place. Once my head's set in place, my gaze goes down the ceiling a few tiles. I come right up into flexion. Okay, so if I didn't do that, this is what it looks like, and this kind of helps you see why we do that. If I come right up, I have to lift my head up and then put my head into place. So our head weighs about 10 pounds, and that's a lot of work for the neck. So if we just make it easy on our neck and just tuck the chin first and then use the core to come up, everything's smooth sailing. You'll notice while I'm here, I usually have like a small fist under the chin or the eyes right at the knees because now my back is curving and my neck just goes right with. So if I were here, you can see how that's way too much strain on my neck. And if I'm jammed down here, that's way too much in the back of the neck. So just this happy medium, just letting the spine go with you. And again, always setting up before we get up there. Inhale, tuck the chin. Exhale. Inhale to stay. Exhale, lower down. So that is just a quick example of how we want to place our neck during flexion. Now I'm going to lay on my stomach and show you extension here. Okay, so extension of the spine is when I lift up like that. So my nose is straight down to the mat before the exercise. And then I just lift up. My gaze is going to go just a few inches in front of my head. So if I shift my gaze there, my neck is going to really nicely move with my spine. So right about here, everything is flowing the way it should, just kind of flowing with me. Now, if I didn't look up like that, I may find myself here. So if I'm looking all the way at that wall, my neck is in too much extension. And if I'm looking straight down, my neck is going into too much flexion. So the happy place is right here. So those are just little tips on where to properly place the neck during our exercise. And you can just practice those laying on the floor, following along with the video, and then start to put them into effect with your own exercises. You'll find your neck is way more comfortable as you go. Now, if you're doing an exercise where you're staying in flexion, be super mindful of this neck positioning, because what I see commonly is people start to fall out and they don't even notice, and then their neck is starting to get really tired. If you can't stay up there, you're better off putting your head all the way down until you're strong enough to be all the way up there and can work in just a safe manner. It's more efficient, and it's also just safer for your neck. So those are the 2 tips, to be putting the neck in flexion and extension, and then setting the head up before you actually come into your flexion. Those little movements are going to really help save your neck and help put you in the best form during your exercise. Thanks so much for joining me today and learning a little bit about the neck. I hope you're learning a lot from these quick little videos. The next video I'm going to show you is our hands and feet foundations. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.